Morning, Jessica.
Que pueden realizar y Armando, ¿quieres más? Recuerden que son ¿qué pasó antes? Investigan las dos.
Hi, Lizzie. Good morning.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Sarah. Good morning. Okay, guys. Well, for today, we are going to make a review of the topic we have been reviewing. Remember, I left a homework called The Stages of Independence, okay? And for today, I want to explain which are these stages and, of course, what they include, okay? So we are going to start talking about this first attempt of independence. Remember, there were a lot of attempts, and this one was the first one, the one by Primo de Verdad. Remember, he proposed that the Viceroy Iturrigaray call a junta gubernativa, and that junta gubernativa was for, well, to assume the leadership of New Spain in name of Fernando VII, okay? So they wanted to recognize Fernando VII as legitimate king, okay? Well, in this junta, there were a lot of people participating, like the Royal Audiencia, the City Council, the church, and well, we have to remember that, of course, what were they living in Spain? Can you remember, or can you tell me who was the person that was on the power in Spain? who was the person that was in the power on Spain by the time the independence started? Tell me. The king. Who was the king or the governor in Spain? Who can answer me that? Carla, do you know the answer? Lizzie?
Wait, teacher, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yes, I'm thinking too.
Think. Who was the person that was on the power on Spain by the time the independence started?
Iturgaray?
The king of Spain. He was the viceroy, of course, but in New Spain. I am asking for the king in Spain. No? Anyone? Well, the one that was in the power in Spain, remember, that was Joseph Bonaparte, okay? Joseph Bonaparte, did you remember the nickname of Joseph Bonaparte?
I don't know, but is Pepe Botella? No?
Exactly, Hania, very good. Yes, Pepe Botella. Well, you have to remember that, okay? That in Spain was Pepe Botella. Why? Because that is one of the causes the independence start, okay? So remember, the people in New Spain didn't want him to be the governor. They claimed for Fernando VII, okay? So that's a crucial point in the history. Okay, well, yes. Meanwhile, in New Spain, the viceroy was Iturrigaray, okay? Here you have the reference in which part you can look for the info I'm giving you, okay? All this information, you already have it. Just to be clear, I'm going to be uploading today this presentation so you can have it like support material, okay? So you don't have to copy, just pay attention, please. That's what I need from you. Well, what happened with that junta? Okay, the Royal Audiencia dismissed the viceroy Iturrigaray on September 15, 1808. And that was really bad because, of course, the viceroy can't go against the governing in Spain, so that's why they dismissed him. Pedro Garibay was named viceroy, okay? After that, Pedro Garibay was the viceroy. Remember I already told you that there were a lot of viceroys during the independence. I had told you also that we had 63 viceroys in all the period that we call New Spain, but especially on independence period, we had 63, sorry. We had a lot, okay? A lot of viceroys, and we start for Iturrigaray, then Pedro Garibay, and well, we are going to start with the first stage, the initiation. Initiation, you remember that I put the dates on the Schoology homework? We are talking about 1810 to 1811, okay? And the first leader is Miguel Hidalgo, okay? Please, if you can't hear me or something like that, tell me, okay? Because I think my connection is unstable again. So let me know if you notice something wrong. Okay, the conspiracy of Querétaro. Remember that this is a very important point because all of these persons participate to organize the beginning of independence as we know it. Curious fact, did you know that we are the only country that celebrates the initiation of the independence and not the end? That's curious, right? Well, okay. The conspiracy of Querétaro is formed by these characters you already know: Miguel Hidalgo, Ignacio Allende, Juan Aldama, Miguel Domínguez, José Ortiz de Domínguez. And remember that on September 14 was named Francisco Javier Venegas y Saavedra as viceroy. Okay, that's another fact. I already told you that when the conspiracy was discovered, Hidalgo started the armed movement. Remember, I already told you who was the person that let Hidalgo know that they were discovered. Can anyone answer me that? Who was the
José Ortiz de Domínguez.
Excellent, Carla, very good, thank you. Yes, remember that José Ortiz de Domínguez was the one that told Hidalgo that they were discovered. So they decided to start this movement before, okay? Before plan. So they started the movement on September 16, 1810, and he called upon the population to fight oppression. You already know that. We know that movement as the Grito de Dolores, okay? So he grabbed the banner of the Mexican Virgin of Guadalupe because she was a symbol, okay? And took the Alhóndiga of Granaditas on September 28, 1810, okay? So the took of Alhóndiga of Granaditas, remember I told you, was an important point because a lot of Spaniards were hidden in that place. So when Miguel Hidalgo burned that place, a lot of people died. So of course, the insurgents, the realists were going to persecute him most, okay? And of course, Miguel Hidalgo, I already told you too, that was recognized, but for declare an end to slavery, okay? Well, next point. They had a lot of battles that are very recognized. One of them is the battle in Monte de las Cruces in October 30, 1810. Remember also an important part of this stage is the foundation of the El Despertador Americano, that was an insurgent newspaper that let them know what was happening in all the movement, okay? And of course, inspired the people to join the movement. The decisive battle was the battle in Puente de Calderón, Guadalajara, on January 17, 1811. Why? Because that was the battle where Calleja defeat them, okay? In March 1811, Hidalgo and Allende were captured in Texas and returned to Calleja. Both were executed and their decapitated heads were hung from the granary walls in Guanajuato for 10 years as a macabre warning to the public. That was really something, right? So the second stage, what is the second stage? The stage of the organization. It goes to 1811 to 1815, okay? And remember the leader is José María Morelos y Pavón, one of the most important movements in the independence, okay? So here you have, okay, the Cadiz Constitution. This is something that happens on Spain, but remember that everything that happens in Spain affects New Spain, okay? So that's why this is really important. The creation of the Spanish Constitution of 1812, which is named Cadiz Constitution. Remember that I told you last class that we have a nickname for this constitution? Which is the nickname of the Spanish Constitution? Can you remember?
La Pepa.
Exactly, La Pepa. And this is explanation why it is called like that. Because in Spain, in March 19 is the day of San Jose, the day that was created this constitution. So the day of San Jose, remember that we call the people named Jose, like Pepe, okay? But it is female, so Pepa. And they have a lema, I can't remember the word in English, that was Viva la Pepa. So everyone was really happy because on Spain that was the first constitution ever. So it has to be really important by that time. Well, what happened with this constitution? Remember that gave whispered powers to the parliament, so the parliament became more powerful, reduced the executive power of the king, proclaimed popular sovereignty, decreed freedom of the press and of expression, and abolished the Inquisition. So we have to say that the Cadiz Constitution abolished all the kind of oppression for people because it talks about equality, okay? Equality. So this constitution, remember, that was Liberia. That's something really you have to remember, okay? Okay, it was up to Morelos to continue the insurgent struggle, okay? He managed to control the strategic places like Chilapa, Chilpancingo, exposes his political, social, and economic ideals to the Congress of Chilpancingo on September 13, 1830. This is really something, okay? His ideas were written up and exposed in his speech, Los Sentimientos de la Nación. This document is going to pass through the history. It's really, really interesting. And in March the 4th was named Felix Maria Calleja as viceroy. Can you remember why? Because he was a general that had accomplished a lot of things. And of course, that's why they decided to call him viceroy. And well, we have also in this stage the return of Fernando VII as a Spanish emperor on May 1814, okay? These are the pages. And well, this meant a return to absolutism and the abolishment of the Spanish Constitution of 1812. Why? Because Fernando VII, remember, he was an absolutist king. So this was something. And what happening here? Okay, remember, Fernando VII came back as king because in Europe they defeat Napoleon Bonaparte, okay? So a lot of things start to happen in this stage. And well, Apatzingan Constitution was promulgated by Insurgent Congress on October 22, 1814. And remember that Morelos advocated the end of the caste system well as equal rights for all regardless of race, okay? So, in which way this stage ends? With the apprehension and execution of Morelos on September 22, 1850. So that's the point we know this stage ends, okay? The resistance goes to 1816 to 1821, okay? Who is going to be the leader? Vicente Guerrero. Why? Because he promotes the fight for sovereignty. And remember that in this stage, the resistance was characterized by guerrilla warfare, okay? Well, Viceroy Calleja at this point is replaced by Juan Ruiz de Apocada, okay? Apodaca, in September 1816, okay? Why he is important? Because he offered a pardon to the rebels in exchange for their surrender. So remember, in this part, all the people that were like in pro of the independence were afraid to be killed, so they decided to accept this pardon, okay? So there are a few people that stay in the movement, okay? What happened next? Well, that Javier Mina, that was an Spaniard opponent of Fernando VII, supported the insurgent cause on April 1817, okay? He can do a lot, I already told you that, because he was defeated and shot on November 11th of 1817. And what happened in the last stage? The consummation, okay? Remember that? We were only talking about 1821, and who's the leader? Agustín de Iturbide, okay? We can say that this Agustín de Iturbide and Vicente Guerrero. Also, there are a lot of people that interfere in the third stage, but I just put one leader because we don't want to saturate all the information, okay? Well, what happened next? In this stage, an event in Spain will again change the situation in 1820. Remember that Fernando VII faced a liberal movement, okay? So the commander Rafael Diego forced him to restore the Spanish Constitution of 1812. And of course, what happened here? This is like the crucial point to the independence, because the supporters of realism who had fought against the emancipation movement were now interested in the consummation of the movement. Why? Because they want to keep their privileges intact without being affected by the Cadiz Constitution, because remember, the Cadiz Constitution is liberal, and everything that happens in New Spain was conservative, okay? So Vicente Guerrero and Iturbide negotiated to join forces to fight for independence. And what happened next? Guerrero finally agreed to meet with Iturbide in Acatempan in February 1812, okay? How can we call this movement? Someone tell me how this movement is remembered. What is the name of this movement? The Hog of?
Ayotzinapa.
The Ayotzinapa. No, that is the death of the kids. Now, the Hog of Acatempan. Okay. Well, what happened next? On February 24, 1821, they signed the Plan of Iguala, and remember to keep this name present, okay? Plan of Iguala. It established equal opportunity for employment and respect for people and property. And what happened next? Well, that the Army Trigarante is established to promote peace and independence. Okay, you have to remember something in here that can be confused sometimes. The Army Trigarante and the Army of the Trigarantes is the same thing, okay? We can call it by these two names, as Army Trigarante or as the Army of the Trigarantes, okay? It's the same. Okay, next point, Apodaca was replaced as Viceroy, again another Viceroy, and later Spain sent Juan O'Donoghue. Remember, he was the last Viceroy of New Spain, okay? And he quickly realized that independence was to be a reality and met with Iturbide to ratify the plan, okay? So Iturbide negotiated with him in what then became the Treaty of Cordoba in August 24, 1821. The Treaty of Cordoba, that's another name you have to remember, okay? Well, you have to remember a lot of names. Pursuant to which the sovereignty of Mexico is decreed. On September 27, 1821, the Army of the Three Guarantees, with Iturbide at the helm, made its triumphal entry into Mexico City, okay? So that's the review of the independence. With that, the independence finished, but you have to remember these 2 points. With the Treaty of Cordoba, Viceroy Juan O'Donoghue recognized the independence of Mexico in 1821, but Spain recognizes Mexico as independent until 1836. Why? After the death of Fernando VII, okay? Remember that I already told you that Fernando VII tried a lot of times to reconquer Mexico, but he couldn't. So, okay, if you notice, guys, this week I didn't upload anything on Schoology, okay? I didn't upload any notes, any new notes for you. Why? Because it was like a week of review. Here you have it. You have to make the homework, remember that. So, well, we are seeing this on this moment, so you can take this like base. Of course, you have to finish that homework because a lot of you haven't delivered me that homework, okay? And well, I wanted to say that also that you have to put more effort in my in this. Sorry. Wait for me. Materia. I forgot the word. Sorry. But why? Because your grades are really low, okay? Just be conscious and remember what is your grade on the quizzes on Schoology. They are really low, okay? So put more effort, guys. I know this have been hard because of the changes. I'm talking about the changes to be in classes, and now we have to be in here. But put a little more effort, okay? Because you need it. I don't want you to fail my materia. Sorry, okay, I forgot that. Okay, I'm passing list assistant. We're in here. Let me check. Remember, you can leave the moment I tell your name, okay? Is Hania here? Yes, she is, I remember.
Yes. Thank you, teacher. Bye.
You're welcome, bye. Adriano?
Here.
Excellent. Maximiliano? Maximiliano is in here, okay. Carla? Carla is here. Lizzie?
Presente.
Excellent. Renata?
Aquí mismo.
Very good. Ayelen? Ayelen is here? No? Giovanni? No? Juan Pablo? Oh, guys, by the way, next week I want to do a Kahoot so you can, well, so I can see what can you remember of this, okay? And this week I'm going to start uploading again notes. So, José?
Presente.
Okay, Jessica?
Presente.
Okay. Eduardo? Listen here. Gabriel? Gabriel isn't here. Okay, Alejandro? Okay, do you like more Rodolfo or Alejandro?
Between.
Okay, Enrique? Enrique? No?
Me habló, es que había ido al baño.
Okay. Giovanni is here. Okay, Camila?
Aquí.
Jamie?
Presente.
Excellent. Laura? Sara?
Aquí.
Excellent. Well, guys, that's all for today. Take care. We are going to see us until next week.